Hello, welcome ladies and gentlemen. We are here at the beautiful Kentucky Horse Park in Lexington, Kentucky. Glad you all have joined us today on a late summer afternoon, and we've got some exciting news coming up. Obviously, those of you who have joined us have an idea of what is going to take place here in the coming year, and it's going to be just another great piece of what has always been a fantastic sporting event for those who love the equestrian world. Obviously, this is the 2018 Kentucky three-day event we're referring to. Right now, we're here at Rolex Stadium, which is sort of the centerpiece of that event. It's where the final round takes place each year. But this coming 2018, it's also where a brand new event will be taking place, and that's going to be the Kentucky CSI 3-Star Invitational. And so we're just here today to sort of familiarize you with the event, tell you a little bit about why it's come to the three-day event, and introduce you to the key players who have brought it here to Lexington. I'd like to start off by introducing to my left the president of EEI, Mr. Stewart Perry, also Mr. Lee Carter, who's executive director of EEI, and of course they are the management group that brings you the three-day event each year. Guilherme Jorge is the course designer of the upcoming Kentucky CSI. He's also, of course, well known for designing courses for the highest level events around the world, including last year's Rio Olympic Games. I'm Braun, I'll be your moderator throughout the afternoon here. John Wilkinson is also on hand here from Horse Network, as is Gretchen Crucy. And at this point, I'd like to turn it over to Lee Carter, again, with EEI, to tell you a little bit about the $225,000 competition that's coming up here in 2018. Lee?
Thanks, Brian. You know, we're excited. Equestrian Events, you know, we've been organizing events here at the Horse Park since 1978, so we've got a long-standing tradition here at the park. We have based our event on trying to provide the best competition, the best experience possible, and we think adding the Grand Prix and working with Split Rock is just going to further enhance that. You know, we've started several years ago promoting our event as the best weekend all year, and adding Split Rock Jumping Tour, adding this Grand Prix only further enhances the experience that we're going to offer our competitors and that we're going to offer our spectators. $225,000 Invitational Grand Prix we felt was really going to set us apart, that it really was going to be the standard bearer for the event. And that's why we were excited to partner with Braun and Split Rock Jumping Tour, because they have set a very high bar for each of their events. And so I'm pleased that Derek's going to be able to join us with his entire team to help us produce this event.
Yeah, and you've talked a little bit about Derek and why you wanted the event to take place here, but many people might not realize, particularly if you are purely an eventing fan, that Derek actually runs a very high caliber competition not too far away from the Kentucky Horse Park here. He himself, having competed all over the world at international level events, decided years ago that he wanted to bring that same caliber of competition to the United States. And so he created the Split Rock Jumping Tour, and again, not too far away from the horse park over the past couple of seasons. He has been running those events. They have been bringing in very high-level show jumping competitors, and so that's basically the reason that Derek was brought in, because he's already proven that he has the ability to run an event of that caliber, and now it's just an opportunity to take it to a brand new audience in 2018. Derek, you want to give a little bit more history on your tour?
Yeah, thanks, Brian. And I also want to say, first and foremost, thank you to Stewart and Lee for bringing me into this joint partnership. And I think the combination of what we bring to the table is the perfect platform for this incredible event. So thank you. Yeah, the Split Rock Jumping Tour, as you said, Brian, now is in its third year. You know, our focus is to bring an absolutely unparalleled show jumping experience. We really focus on, in my opinion, the three crucial details of having a great event. That's focusing on the spectators, first and foremost, the riders, and also the sponsors to follow. So we really, my staff and my team and everybody that's involved, really wants to make every aspect of those details absolutely perfect. So my job in this mix is to come in here, make sure it goes off seamlessly, perfectly, everybody's happy and content and has a great show to watch. A couple of the details of this event I think are going to be both great for the riders and the spectators and the sponsors to be a part of. Honestly, the prize money is fantastic at $225,000. The great thing is it's going to be Saturday afternoon, 4 p.m., around 4 p.m., directly following the cross country. And I just think the atmosphere is going to be absolutely incredible. I think it's going to be unrivaled in America. Usually on hand on Saturday alone, there's roughly between 35 and 40,000 spectators. So Rolex Stadium fills with about 10,000, and I just think the atmosphere is going to be absolutely incredible. It's going to be similar to WEG and similar to Sunday afternoon that the 3-day event already has for their show jumping finale. We are going to add a $35,000 meter 45 speed round on Friday evening as well, but the focus again will be the $225,000 meter 60 Grand Prix. One of the great things, I think we're going to have a perfect number of riders. We're going to have 30 fully invited riders, completely free of charge for them, which is also not typical in American show jumping. So it's going to be a great event for them to be a part of. Hopefully they can bring their best horses and we can really put on a fantastic show for this crowd. Our intention is that this becomes, and hopefully is, the most watched show jumping event in America, whether it be live spectated or viewed online or on TV. So I think this is really going to be an incredible production from start to finish, and it's going to hopefully add that production to the best weekend all year. And the Kentucky 3-day event already is the largest horse sporting event besides Thoroughbred in America, and I hope this can continue to add on this into the future. Like I said, the atmosphere is just completely unrivaled. So I'm really thankful to be a part of it. I'm excited to produce it, and I hope this can be a long-standing event moving forward into the future. Again, it starts my tour next year. We have 5 shows next year on the tour, but I couldn't ask for a better start to it, and I think this is going to be an incredible event. I'm happy to say that obviously Guilherme, who did build the Rio Olympics last year, is going to be the course designer. So we want to set the standard as this being the single best show jumping event in America. So it starts with that. Guilherme is going to build the courses, and I think he's going to do a fantastic job.
So it's sort of a perfect meeting of the vision of Split Rock along with the vision of EEI. And for a little more information on that, Mr. Stewart Perry, tell us about why EEI chose to go ahead with this plan and what the sort of long-term vision is.
Thank you, Brian. You know, EEI, Equestrian Events Incorporated, grew out of the 1978 World Championship here at the beautiful Kentucky Horse Park. We are a volunteer board, so we are unique in the industry in that we're a nonprofit. So we're plowing all of our profits back into the horse industry. One of the things we want to do is we want to make sure that we're sharing those profits and that we're doing what's in the best interest of the horse industry. Now, a lot of my volunteer board, a lot of the board that elected me president are riders, or like myself, parents of a rider. So they said, hey, we need to look and see if there's other venues we can do during that weekend, as Derek said, we have 80,000 people over 4 days, that they would enjoy. And this is one of them. We believe that this is a natural fit. And a couple years ago, I was introduced to Derek and went to Split Rock, and Derek said, hey, we need to look at a way to partner, and this is a natural way to do this for our organization to partner, Derek, with yours on getting a Grand Prix that is going to be second to none. I'm out here and see a lot of them, Derek, and I will tell you that my expectations of what you're going to run for us and your course is going to be outstanding. In this stadium, Lord have mercy, how can it not be? And like you said, we believe the people are going to come right off the cross-country tour, come right into the stands, sit down, get themselves a Coke or an alcoholic beverage, and sit down and see absolutely spectacular jumping and continue to do what they come out here for, which is enjoy the sport of horses.
Well, we're all looking forward to that, and it's already been touched on that Guilherme Jorge was chosen as the course designer, and he's just got an incredible record of doing a fantastic job of designing, including last year at the Rio Olympic Games. He's also been out here for some of the more recent events that have taken place here in the late summer part of 2017. But building on all of that, we really expect to see a fantastic and challenging course, and it's going to have to be that because with top 30 invited to be here, we're going to be guaranteeing that the best are going to be coming to compete for the prize money. So, Guilherme, tell us what you think about this event and how it's going to be for the sport and your vision of this thing next year.
Thank you, Brian. Well, I think it's a fantastic way of combining show jumping and eventing. I think the show jumping riders could ask for nothing more than being brought in one of the biggest sport events, equestrian sport events of the world on the calendar year. I always like to build courses for events that has tradition, and even this being the first Grand Prix here, the event has a lot of tradition with the Kentucky 3-day event. I think the conditions, like we've already said, are going to be fantastic. This stadium is very impressive, and I know that all the riders are going to look forward to come and jump here.
Absolutely. Again, we're pretty accustomed to high-level equestrian competition here, but this is definitely going to take it to an even higher level. We'd like to, I guess, take a minute here to maybe see if anybody out there in our viewing audience, we're definitely watching that some folks are tuning in from all around the country and around the world, in fact, and some of them may have some questions. So if anybody's interested, feel free to tune in here. I know we've got folks watching from all up and down the East Coast, some on the West Coast as well. Certainly some are viewing from Europe, though they might not be piping in right now, but looking to Kathy in Pennsylvania, and go ahead and direct these questions at any of the panel members up here if you'd like. Kathy actually has a question for Derek. Wants to know if you're planning to take Split Rock to other 3-day events or horse shows.
That's a good question. I mean, I think that it's certainly a possibility. It's certainly a possibility, but no, for next year and into the near future, my focus is going to be on this event. And there's just one more thing I wanted to touch on that I think Guilherme made a great point on. That one thing that maybe other parts of the world as well, beyond America, do so well is the culture that they bring behind these traditional events. And the 3-day event here in Kentucky at the Horse Park has become such a annual tradition here in Kentucky that people come from all over to watch it, that I think it's fantastic for the sport of 3-day eventing, especially in America. Everybody aspires to be a part of it. Everybody tries to go and watch it. And I think that that's what we want to create with this event. We want to, you know, my goal in having my tour and events like this is to grow the sport in America specifically. And I think that there's no better platform out there than this platform, with the culture behind these spectators and their involvement in the sport, to do that. So my focus is solely on this 3-day event for now.
All right. Let me just ask now as well, Derek, we're streaming right now online. We've got people at this point now speaking to us from, as I mentioned, throughout the United States, South America. In fact, I've got some folks wishing Guy good luck from Guatemala in course designing, and certainly appreciates that. But while they're viewing now in a live streaming format, I think they're interested in knowing whether next year will also be live streamed when we get to the show jumping Grand Prix here at Rolex Stadium. Yeah, absolutely. We'll have several platforms that will be live streamed on. Certainly that information we will put out there in the near future. We're still about 8 months away, so I think we've got plenty of time. Absolutely. And you know, I just have to comment on one of the comments that we've got on the stream there. There's some folks who are mentioning that show jumping has a predominantly female rider base. We actually have quite a good mix of both women and men involved, but they're sort of wondering why we have an all-male panel up here. It just so happens that the key players in this specific event are gentlemen, and so that's how we ended up with this group. But I can assure you, I feel very, very confident there's going to be plenty of ladies riding for that big money here in 2018 when that $225,000 3-star invitational gets underway. Aaron in California would like to know, do we think that there are going to be some cross-country jumps in the ring? I guess I'll give that to Guy. What do you think about that? Those cross-country jumps are pretty stout. Do you think you're going to use some of those in your course?
No, I think we are for sure going to be using some of the jumps that traditionally are on the stadium phase, jumping phase of the Kentucky 3-day event. They have a fantastic set of jumps here, very traditional of the area. So those are the jumps we're going to be using, but we're going to keep to a regular show jumping set of jumps.
And I guess this next one could be a little bit of an extension of that, I guess. Will there be any? We've seen some events here that are part of the EEI schedule during the 3-day event here in Kentucky that they've sort of been a crossover. In the past, we've had some reining competitions. We've had some crossover between the eventers and the reiners. And some folks out there want to know whether or not we're going to do anything like that between the show jumpers and the eventers. Any plans for a crossover or mixed competition, or even just a mixed event where they'd all be together?
You know, that's a great question. As Derek said, we're a little bit early, so we may not know the answer. I think the best thing is buy a ticket and come find out. So, you know, I think we're looking for ways to integrate our two audiences, you know, to again expose our eventing audience to the quality show jumping that they're going to bring, and maybe expose some of the show jumpers to the excellent 3-day eventing that's going to take place. So.
Okay. Well, again, just allowing anyone out there who's taken an interest, and obviously we've got a great outpouring of interest on Horse Network, who are streaming this live on Facebook right now. But anybody else that has questions out there, we certainly want to hear from you. We're certainly looking forward to not only having you tuning in on the live stream that Derek mentioned a few minutes ago, but being here, because there's nothing quite like being in an arena like this, having been here for some of the big Grand Prix in the past, having been here for the 3-day event, having been here for the World Games when they happened back in 2010. I can tell you it's just a chilling experience to see that kind of attendance, that kind of fanhood, regardless of what your area of equestrian expertise or fandom is. When this arena, this stadium is filled with people, it is just electric, and I know that's going to be the feeling here in 2018 when we get underway with this 3-star invitational. So we hope you're putting this on your calendar, happening here obviously in April during the 2018 Kentucky 3-day event. Again, it's going to be 30 riders, invitational. They're going to have that $35,000 class early in the week, and then another one, a $225,000 class, which is the focus coming up on Saturday. You're going to have already enjoyed all of the 3-day competition, from the dressage to the cross-country phase, and then this Grand Prix will be the highest level of show jumping available on the eve of the stadium jumping portion of the eventing competition. So you really can't go wrong. And again, with the atmosphere, the fantastic trade fair that happens here, the food, and all the fun and the history and tradition, certainly not something that you're going to want to miss. Lulu, who is joining us online, would like to know if this is going to be a standalone class, and will it be up for FEI ranking. Well, we've already addressed the fact that there's going to be a welcome $35,000 class early in the week, but is this going to offer FEI ranking or FEI points?
Yeah, this is an internationally recognized event, so it is under FEI guidelines and rules. We do have the $35,000 meter 45 speed class on Friday evening, and then we also have the $225,000 meter 60 Grand Prix format for Saturday afternoon. So it will be under FEI sanctions. Both, yeah, correct. Both count for the Longines World Ranking list. So yes.
Okay, great. So there we go. And can we speak to the dates of the actual show jumping, the eventing and the show jumping that'll be within that, please?
Yeah, so the 3-day event's going to run from April 26th through April 29th, and then the show jumping period will be on Friday, April 27th, and Saturday, April 28th. So you can get more information about it by going to our website, Kentucky3dayevent.com. I'll have all the information there, and that'll be a good resource for you, as well as our social media, Split Rock Jumping Tour social media. It'll be all there for you.
Absolutely. So keep tuning in, because you know that, as they said, we're sort of early in this process, just sort of breaking the news more broadly that the show jumping event's going to happen. But there's still a lot of development that's going on as we lead up to this, and things getting more and more exciting as sort of more parts are added to make it more fun next year. And you don't want to miss out on finding out the new exciting news as it rolls in. So whether you're tuning into EEI or the 3-day events website, or if you're tuning into Split Rock Jumping Tours website, either way, make sure you stay up on this. Some folks want to know what the jump heights will be for that 3-star event. We've made the decision on that, obviously, being a high-level 3-star competition. So.
Yeah, so Friday evening will be meter 45 in height.
Right.
And Saturday afternoon will be almost the biggest level we can get at. It is still a 3-star, so it's going to be meter 60. They are going to be some of the best horses and riders in North America, hopefully. So I think Guy is going to have to build a tough enough track regardless of the height.
Okay. Again, high expectations for what's going to be a lot of excitement. There's already going to be a buzz here in Kentucky at Rolex Stadium while they're starting to prepare. They're just going to be finishing with the course walk, as you mentioned earlier, Stewart, and folks are going to want to have something to come back and relax to, but it won't be that relaxing. It's going to be pretty chilling, I would assume, and lots of fun, lots of excitement in the air here, so we're certainly looking forward to all of that. Any other events that we want to talk about that are taking place throughout the week?
Brian, I think we would be remiss if we didn't mention that right before this, of course, is the cross country, but there's also the shopping. All of the vendors' tents will be open. All of the shopping that we'll have, all those things will be right in close proximity to the Rolex Stadium, so where people can come, they can, I've always said, you can come to the Kentucky 3-day event and buy everything except a washer and dryer. Other than that, you can bid just about anything else you can think of. You can come and buy a car. You can come and buy a couch. But you can come and get just about anything you think, not just in the riding world, but in everything else. So that world-class shopping will be there. Unlike many Grand Prix, we're going to have that added value for people to come and have something else to do right before and right after.
Absolutely. So even if you weren't necessarily already a fan of equestrian sports or show jumping or eventing in particular, come out here. Maybe you don't follow it up to this point. Come out here, just make it a family day, do a little bit of shopping. There's a huge trade fair that lines the entire road from the stadium all the way down to Rolex Way there. So check that out, and maybe you'll become a fan or addicted to equestrian sports. I have a feeling that that's the case. If you're new to it, you haven't seen it before, you're going to say, why have I not come out for these events in the past? And what a great way to decide to start your equestrian fandom. Again, we're really looking forward to it. It's going to be show jumping at its finest, and we are, again, 8 months away, so continue tuning in. And if the gentlemen here have no further comments or questions or things to keep you guys up on, I think we'll go ahead and send you all back and let you start passing the buzz around the country in your equestrian communities and around the world, and you all start to tune into those websites, Equestrian Events website, as well as Split Rock Jumping Tours websites. One more time, let's go ahead and mention those, if you would, Lee.
Yeah, so the 3-day website is Kentucky3dayevent.com, and the Split Rock Jumping Tour website is
SplitRockJumpingTour.com.
Right.
It was still a thunder there.
Pretty easy to remember there. So make sure you keep up with that. Tune into those websites. Stay abreast of all of the newest press releases, all the news as it's coming out throughout the next several months leading up to April of next year. What a great time to be in Kentucky, by the way. We love how the temperatures come up to the perfect level for equestrian events at that time of the year. So come on out to Lexington, no matter where you're from. I guarantee you won't regret it. But one thing I do have to say is you're going to have to make sure you book your hotels and reservations early because things fill up around here, so you don't want to miss out on that opportunity. Tune into the websites, make your reservations, plan to be with us, and we can't wait to see you here in April 2018, again from April 26th through 29th, and right in the middle of all that, the 27th and 28th, the CSI 3-star Invitational, again produced by Split Rock Jumping Tour. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, guys. For 25